Okay. All right. So, technical difficulties. Mercury is in retrograde, but we're going to push through this. All right. Soul family, soul tribe. Welcome to Manifest with Mo. I am Mo Mahania Shanette, and here we talk about all things manifesting because everything you see, you, me, we are all a manifestation of the mind of the Most High because we were first a thought in the mind of the Most High before we materialize into matter. So, therefore, it is always mind over matter. All right. So I have a wonderful video for you today. Um we're going to jump right in. I wanted to give people a little bit of time to come in. I had a really exciting thumbnail, or I would say attention grabbing thumbnail, but for some reason it's when I go to edit the thumbnail, it's not prompting for me to upload or select new photos. I don't need to update the app or anything. I went in my settings to try to find the permissions for YouTube to prompt me to select new photos or give permission to use selected photos. Excuse me. But it didn't work. So what I'll do is go in the studio and edit when this video is done. So um, first calling in all the archangels of light and love. Archangel Michael, I ask you to come in and protect us, to protect my family, your families, our entire soul tribe, to wrap me up in your love and to allow me to give this message and assist me in giving this message that was given to me from the Most High, from the ancestors, excuse me, and spiritual team, and inspired and guided along the way by people who are special in my life. So, I'm here to give you this message. Like I said, I feel like it's going to be fun just because of the extra inspiration and confirmation that I picked up along the way. If I'm sniffling or coughing, please excuse me. My body is, excuse me, healing up from something, whatever it was, but it's gone. We declare that. All right. So today we are talking about your imagination. All right. And that it is your most powerful tool. Your imagination is your most powerful tool. Actually, I need to share this. Let me share this. Let me share this. Maybe I can get a mod in here. And maybe we can get some um, fun combos going in the chat and some input. So I'm sharing it with a couple of people who actually brought in a lot of the confirmation that I received. So hopefully they can tap in and I can share my gratitude with them live here on this live, but for sure I will share it to them live and in person um, when I speak with them. So we're talking about your imagination and how it is your most powerful tool. All right. Um, do we have anyone here? Okay. All right. It was some type of prompt there. So now I was told to give a message. I was guided to give a message, and it was about the power of the imagination. And so that's what we're talking about today. But I was guided to give this message or told to give this message. It's been over a week now, maybe close to 2 weeks it's been. And so I didn't make the time to do it. And I do have my notes here. So I have notes here. So if you see me looking down, I actually sat down today with Maurice and wrote out notes so that this video is not all over the place, and so I don't forget to give you very important details about what we're going to discuss. So, excuse me, I didn't take the time to do the video, and so guess what? Earlier this week, I ended up in bed for 2 days. The first day, I had to ask Maurice to even put the cover on for me. That's how weak I felt out of it. Um, but like I said, I'm recovering. But during that time, this is a message also for you to take the time to rest. Take the time to rest, okay? Thank you for the thumbs up. Um, excuse me. So during that time, I was able to watch two shows in its entirety. Two miniseries, WandaVision and then Agatha All Along. And if you're not familiar with them, they are part of the Marvel universe. Excuse me. Apologies. Um, so we're going to talk about them in there. There's going to be some spoiler alerts. So I'll give you the gist of the message before we get into talking about the show. Um, and how it ties in and is confirmation for the message that I was given. So Brandon told me to watch Agatha All Along. Bree had already told me years ago when WandaVision first came out to watch the show, and I watched I started watching the first episode and I was like, I don't know, like I'm not like this. What is this? And so, excuse me, I started watching Agatha All Along last month sometime, and I got to episode 7, and I was about midway through, and I was like, wait, like I love this. Um, this is really really good, but I'm missing some information here. So let me go back and watch WandaVision because I didn't realize that this was a spinoff, right? So, um, before we dive deep into that and how it ties into the message, let me give you the the main. Let me call for some cough drops. Just 1 second, please. My apologies. Like this would when I tell you so many things was trying to hold me back from doing this message and giving this message. Just setting up, it took me about 20 minutes. Hey, can you please bring me some cough drops? I'm in the office. Okay, thank you. Okay, my apologies, y'all. But so many things, like just like you have to push, okay? Push, push, push. Sometimes you just gotta say, you know what? Let me give it a break. Let me give it a rest. But I have to give this message, so I have to push. So, excuse me. The gist of the message is that your imagination is the most powerful tool you have. I was actually listening to Reverend Ike, and I also was listening to oh, I can't remember his name, but he is a breatharian, and I hate when I don't remember people's name, and I want to give them credit and if give you the info, but he spoke the same message that came into my mind. And then Maurice and I were watching a video, or Maurice showed me a movie clip, a video clip, and the person said that Michael Jackson would immediately write things down when he received a message, received a download, because he knew that if he didn't write it down and um do the song, then Prince would get it. So I've seen it so many times where I get a download and then someone else, excuse me, says the exact same thing or has the exact same message that I also received. So, anyways, I was watching Reverend Ike, and I thought about uh Christianity, and I love the way that he breaks things down, right? And oh, sorry, I thought about, I grew up Christian, which you know this if you've been here with me for a while, and so there's always this phrase about picking up and bearing the cross and to crucify yourself with Christ, and so it came to me last night. I'm like, wait a minute, crucify yourself with Christ. Like, what does that mean? Why would you need to crucify yourself? Which is basically crucifying the Christ within you, right? If you look at the things that Christ stood for, the things that Christ is a representation of, and the way that Reverend Ike put it was that, like, you don't realize that that same that spirit is within you, that energy is is within you, but you're taught to always look outside of yourself, and so the message is very misconstrued, but is taught excuse me, in a confusing way, intentionally, to allude to something else and to have people programmed to believe that they need help outside of themselves. So and that's all ties into the fact that what Christ's consciousness is raising the kundalini energy to that 33rd vertebrae, right, above it, and having a kundalini awakening. And this is nothing to play with. Like, this is serious business and serious work. Something going on with my pets out there. Okay, this is serious business, serious work, and you definitely want to do your shadow work. You want to um, really be in the best mental state that you can be. I was put through a rush course with it. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know, like, I thought I was going crazy. And it wasn't until I saw Victor Odo and his story about him having like a quick um, or well, I don't even want to say quick, like a kundalini awakening. Sorry, I'm losing the words, but um, it was like rushed. It happened really fast for him, and so it caused him to experience. It was very very uncomfortable. All right, and it was the same for me. Very very uncomfortable. Having that kundalini awakening in such a fast paced course type of way. And when I say that, like a rush course, like we got to get you online, we got to get you up to speed because you have work to do, and you slept through the alarm. So now we're waking you up, giving you assistance, and telling you, hey, you need to do this now. Thank you. Uh-huh. So y'all gonna have to excuse me for talking with this cough drop in my mouth. Okay, my apologies.
What you talking about?
But like I said, I have to get this message. So um where are we? Okay, so killing the Christ, right, in you is killing that. Now, it's not killing, right? Because they, no one has the power to kill that in you, but it is suppressed and lays dormant if you don't realize that it is you, right? And that is doing all of this. Excuse me. And so once it rises up, all right, now we're gonna get into WandaVision and Agatha all along, and how they tie in and how they were confirmation for the message that I already was uh, told to give. So once you bring that energy from the root chakra, Wanda, red, like Maurice brought this to my attention earlier today. And you need a chair? Or are you about to go back in?
I'll go back in a
Okay.
minute. I'm just staying
So
here for a minute.
it what do I want to say? So red root chakra, right? And then Agatha. So now here's the spoiler alert. Purple magic, crown chakra, right? So and there's a battle there between the flesh and the spiritual. So there's a battle there, and there needs to be balance. And so when you get to the purple, right, when you get to that violet chakra, that means in that sense, when you get the kundalini, and it's risen to that place in that space, then now you have reached what Christ referred to, right, as the kingdom of heaven. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and that all these things are within you, right? So now you're at a place once you reach that state where you are able to use the power of your mind, but in a control, in a controlled manner. You have control of your mind to be able to create what it is that you desire. So, um, okay, so let's get into this. The creative power of the collective being used to create desired realities is something that we talk about all the time. You want an earthquake? Put out a movie about it. Have the collective thinking about it, worried about it, believing that it's going to happen, knowing that it's possible, preparing for it, and then what happens? An earthquake, and in diverse places and terrains, places that there's never been an earthquake before. People haven't heard of it before, but the collective needed to be on the creation of that. There's a lot of things that are created by feeding it to the masses. So in um, WandaVision, there is a reality that Wanda has created using her power, her red power, from a place of strong desire in the material world from her root chakra. And so when she created it, it was for her it seemed great, but it was messy all around her. And so that her she didn't guard herself, she didn't protect herself, she didn't think about this because she's coming from the root chakra. And so Agatha senses her, wants her power, and comes into her world because she left herself open for it, and starts changing things and manipulating things. So, um, we're gonna get into though the main point of this is that in Agatha all along, there's the witch's road that witches over a span of from 1756 to present, right? They believe that if they walk the witch's road, this magical road, this secret road that they didn't had to figure out how to gain access to in the first place, and it was they believed it was through a song that they would get their if they survived they would get their desires in the end. So excuse me, my apologies. Agatha never believed in the road because Agatha made it all up. She made up the song and everything. And you don't know this until the last episode. And so going through the entire show, you believe that the road really exists. Well, Billy, who is one of WandaVision's sons, actually created the road and had no idea until the end, until after the road experience when he comes back to his room and he's looking around and he sees things that are in his room that he saw on the road, and then he says, "Oh my gosh, I did this. I created the road." And so Agatha, who is now a ghost, starts cackling, and she's like, basically, "Yeah, you figured it out." So here's something I want to tell you that I didn't write down. When Billy created that door, that is when Agatha knew who he was. She figured it out. Billy didn't know who he was. That's what I want you to know. That's what I want to point out to you. Billy didn't know his power. So many of us do not know, right? So many of you don't know who you are, don't know the power that you possess and your capabilities. But others know. Others see your potential and they will use you, right? Think about people in school who are smart and other people. Oh, my poor plant. Oh my goodness, I have to water it. I forgot about my plant out here in the office. Um, excuse me. People see the potential and they're like, huh, I'm gonna pair up with this person so that I can ace the work as well, right? They see things. People who discover stars that don't realize their own potential. So a lot of people may take advantage of them because they see something in them that they don't see in themselves. They're unsure of themselves. They're insecure, and so they're taken advantage of because the person sees exactly who they are and what they are capable of. And since Billy created the role, Agatha was like, I'm rolling with it, right? So it's very important also to realize that Billy created the road and all the trials that were there were create these scenes like the house, the trees, um hey Bree, the the let me see, the Wicked Witch, all these things. Yes, I am. And we're talking about how powerful your imagination is. And I gave you and Brandon a shout out when I started the video for telling me to watch the shows. You know, you told me to watch WandaVision. Hi, Damari. And Brandon told me to watch Agatha All Alone. Um, but after watching it, it was just great confirmation for a message that I was already told to give, which is your imagination is your most powerful tool. So, Billy manifested the robe, and it was created from his subconscious. Yes, such good shows. It was created from his subconscious. So, we think a lot of times, oh, that's synchronicity. I thought about it, and it happened to come by. No, you thought about it, and you brought it into your reality. You thought about it, and you brought it into your reality. Because the imagination is so powerful. It's so powerful. And so when Billy got back home and he's looking around his room, as I said, he saw all of these props, and I won't give it away because somebody may want to watch the show. But I did say, hey, spoiler alerts. Um, so from this point, stop, watch the show, then come back to this video, okay? Because we got to talk about it. So he sees the Ouija board. He sees the Road song, Lord and Woo's poster. He sees Alphaba. He sees the Yellow Brick Road. All of these things that were in the moon, the moon posters, all of these things that he created on the road when he created the road. And Agatha was like, I'm going along for the ride. And so there's one witch that survives besides Agatha, which is Jen. Because Jen, somewhere in her, she knew she was getting her power back. She knew exactly what she wanted. All of them really got what they wanted because Alice wanted to find out what happened to her mom. Lilia wanted to stop experiencing her power, and well, poor Miss Hart, just innocent bystander, just sad. But let me check my notes because I don't want to forget anything. These are things like you just think about. Have you ever wanted a car and then all of a sudden you start seeing them all over the place? Have you ever thought of pizza and then somebody invites you out to pizza? Um, it's so many instances where you allowed yourself to have it, because that's simply what you're doing, is allowing yourself to have it. Excuse me. So let's back up to the basement scene where the witches first enter the basement. Um, Agatha needed them. Let's go back. Let's go back to after Nikki passes away. Agatha, you know what? Let's go back to his birth. And Agatha is draining all of the witches that she comes in contact with in order to keep Nikki alive. She's draining and using their power. That's all she does for centuries. Is trick the witches out of their power, out of their energy, so she can have more of it. She tricks them out of their power, out of their energy, so she can have more of it. Be mindful with your power. Be mindful with your energy. There are leeches that want to be around you because they want to drain you of your power. They want to siphon your energy to fuel themselves for whatever it is, to use you in order to create. So when we get to the basement scene, she brought her coven of witches in to kill them. She was going to drain their power. That was the plan all along. Agatha all along. Life force, yes, Marty said life force. That they, people want to drain others' life force. Excuse me, real quick. My apologies, y'all, but my spirit guides wouldn't even let me sleep if I didn't give this message. So I'm pushing through, okay? Um, but yes, others want to drain it, and they want to. They don't care about who they step on to get it. So, um, let me look at my notes so I don't forget. Okay, so we already. Okay, so Billy gave. This was a point Marty's brought up. Billy ended up giving Agatha her power, but it was at a point when Agatha, or gave her some power, but it was at a point when Agatha realized that she already went through the trial and she realized what it was that she went through it for. And so he gives her power back, and it's purple. All right, so she gets her purple back. Let me see here. And Billy's, if I'm not mistaken, was blue. All right, it was a blue, right? And so third eye. That is what Billy was. His third eye was opening. He's a representation of the third eye opening. So he didn't even realize what was going on. He didn't realize that he had created the road until the end of everything happened. But because what he created, um, the other the other witches involved. What did I do with my other cough drop? Okay, the other witches involved, they believed it. They knew a road existed. Now, here we go. Because This is the most exciting part. And I just thought about this, and it's given to me that this is the most exciting part. Is that did the road exist before? It did, and it did it because it came to be. So that means it existed because time is not linear. Um, so Lilia had already experienced the road because she was basically a time traveler, a time jumper, but couldn't control it. So even though Agatha all along was just fraudulently, not even fraudulently, because that word is um, too nice of a word to use for what she was doing. She was very deceptive. Like she was horrible in that sense of draining the other witches. She was coming from a hurt, very deep hurt space, but it's no excuse. It's just her motive, right? Running off of emotion. Um, but she in her mind was like, huh, it doesn't exist. And so when the door opens and Miss Hart said, "What's that?" Well, it doesn't open, but the door appears, and Miss Hart said, "What's that?" Agatha looks like, "Well, I'll be doggone. It's a door there, like, huh?" And she looks at the camera, looks at us like, hmm. At that moment, she realizes this is one of well, she knows who it is. It's Billy because she knows that the two Tommy is a speedster and Billy has the mental power, right? So the road was real all along because of that moment. So let me break it down for you. When you are in a space of desiring the outcome, and I know the feeling of needing so bad, right? And we don't want to be in a space where we want to be at that space where it's created already. And so those witches really needed the road, but they were scared, rightfully so. Look what happened, right? To a few of them, or two of the witches. One was a mortal, but it was already real, and they had no idea. So I'm saying that to say this: whatever it is that you desire, it is already real. If you truly, truly desire it, not just wanting or thinking about it or lusting after it. If you truly, truly, truly desire, because desire is a deep longing of belonging in existing in a certain state. So when you truly have a desire, you have to sit with that. And no matter what is going on, no matter how bad no matter how bad you feel, no matter how horrible it is, I remember, and I'm gonna share this with you. I'm gonna share this with you because I'm picking up something in my spirit that somebody right now is really feeling hurt. Um, and you're wondering, if that road is real, if it's a possibility. And let me share this with you briefly. I remember one day we were on our way to this gluten free bakery in Oakland, and it was Maurice, um, and we had I think was Bree here, Marlon Milan. We're in the car, right? We're going to the bakery, and so this it was a playlist, and so different songs was coming on, and so I believe um, James Fortune. Um, I believe my family will get better. It's a lot of words, right? I mean, a lot, not a lot of words. Of course, a lot of words. But sorry, when I visit that place, that space in my life, it makes me fuzzy because it hurts, right? But the point is, I was at this point at where I am at this point now, right? Where the road that I had to walk, I got my desire once I finished that road. That road was hard, right? That trial was hard. It was difficult. The worst time of my life. But while on that road, going through that trial, that song, I believe my family would. What it, let me pull up the words for you. Let me pull up the lyrics because I really want to share this with you. Um, and mm, mm, mm. um, hold on, y'all. I gotta pull myself together here. But Spirit is telling me to share this. Let me pull up these lyrics. Um, Before my cousin passed away earlier this year, she just sent me that song out the blue. Maurice and I were the only two people who knew how that song made us feel because pretty much every time we heard it we would be very, very emotional. So we didn't share it because we didn't want to be, crying, talking to people, and boohooing. And so one day, shortly before my cousin passed away earlier this year, she just sends me the song out of the blue. And sometimes I feel like I'm on another road, right? On a healing journey because her passing away, um, it just shook us to our core. And so I'm every day I'm still pushing through her not being here physically. So the song is I Believe, and it opens with this keeps me going on those days when I feel like giving up. And I remember feeling like giving up. All right. I'm telling you, no matter what it is, right? Whoever you are and you feel like giving up, you just have to know, right? And so the words say, I believe the storm will soon be over. I believe the rain will go away. I believe that I can make it through it. I believe it's already done. I want you to already see yourself out of the storm. The clouds will move. It's time for you to smile again. I believe my family will get better. I believe God will provide. I believe the promise that He made. I believe it's already done. The blessing is yours. God's already pre approved you for it. I believe that my God is a healer. Yes, He is, and I believe that I will survive. I believe that God is able. I believe it's already done. But the part that Maurice and I would sing over and over to ourselves, right? Um, I'm trying to find it. It says it was I believe my family will get better. I don't see it in here. It's gotta get better. I read all that to y'all, right? Strong crying long enough. This is the part where he's talking. So just a second. Stay with me here. Stay with me here, y'all. I believe your money's gonna get better. Things are gonna work out for your good. You gotta believe it. Um, let's see. I don't see that part for some reason, but I remember that part being in there. All right. But if it was that part that your family will be better, right? And so at that time, with Brielle passing away, it was just horrific. It was horrible. and I felt like I was losing my mind. The only reason I would like even get out of bed was because of Briasia. So the point is, at that moment, did I feel like I'm gonna get another chance at this? With all the things that they were telling me that had happened to me, that had happened to my body, it I'm telling you, if I would have accepted it, if I would have accepted it, if I would have received it, then the 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 way that my life turned around, the way that how much my life has gotten better, if I would have received it, I'd have died on that road. But I kept going, and I said, I know it's already done. I see it, I feel it. And because I saw it and I felt it, then it became a reality. I was still on this path. I hadn't finished the road yet, right? But I knew and I saw it, and because I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna keep moving. I have some pep in my step now. I have something to live for. I have something to be more, a reason to be more. I have a reason to smile more. I have more reasons to smile now. And so in that moment, it at first it didn't seem real, but then I said, you know what? Instead of sitting here and sitting there in what I didn't want to feel, I would excuse myself if if someone was there or I'm talking to somebody. I go in my room, I lay down, and I think about how do I want to feel because it's not like that. And I remember my aunties came over the day after Brielle passed away, and she said every room. She asked me how many bedrooms we had in the house, and she said, "Guess what? Every room, every empty room you have in your house is going to be filled with the child. You're gonna have enough children to fill up every room in this house." Mm. Whew. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, the road may seem dark. It may be storming. It may be rain, sleet, or snow. But you have to command it by the power of your imagination to create what it is that you desire to see in your life. I am living in what I desire to see in my life. I am enjoying my desires. No matter what it is, someone loves you. Someone loves you. Create that space. Open up. I remember watching Nazir Ra, and he was saying, y'all looking for, and I'm paraphrasing, but to sum it up, he said, you looking for a spouse. Stop parking in the middle, your car in the middle of the garage. Park over to one, like pick a side, because you got to make space for that person to pull their car in the garage too. You got to make space in the cabinets, right? For them to put their cups and their plates. You got to make space in the bed. So stop sleeping in the middle of the bed. Pick a side so that your spouse, right, can excuse me, have a side to sleep on, have enough space to sleep. You have to become what it is that you desire. You only get what you are. You only get what you are. If you're seeking out your special someone, you have to know what's special to you. You have to know what you like. You have to know what what makes you smile. You have to know what uh, who you are in order to receive that person. But also, you have to be enough for you. Because if you're not enough for you, you're going to receive that person, and they'll be out of your life. It's very, very important for you to be on the frequency of what it is. Pull it into you are the attractive receiver here. We receive through the feminine energy. All of us have male and female, all right? Female and male, feminine and masculine energy. I'm doing the wrong hands. Feminine, left hand, right? Masculine, right hand, or left side, right side. You have the giver and you have the receiver, right? The male does what? Gives you, even with creating life, gives the sperm. The woman receives it and creates a life from that. What is my dog doing? So it's very, very important for you to be in receptive mode, to open yourself up to receive, to rest in your feminine energy. This is male or female. Sex has nothing to do with the masculine and feminine energy. It needs to be balanced no matter your sex. It needs to be balanced. This is a spiritual and energetic thing. We have, do we have the, I believe I have a, let me check my Patreon. I'm going to check the Patreon because I believe that, come on now, it logged me out. It logged me out. I'm just checking the chat in case. Okay, let me see. I thought. Okay, I guess we don't. I was work. Let me go on to because I want to read these characteristics to you. Let me see your designs. So I actually created a worksheet. It's been some time now. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, so let's look at a few qualities, right, of the feminine energy. Um, creative, intuitive, attractive, expressive, nurturing, and magnetic. It draws in, it pulls in. Let's talk about that magnetism for a minute. What does that mean? And why is it important, whether you're male or female, to rest in the feminine energy? I keep saying this because I want you to realize that it's different. When Wanda and I feel like Wanda was resting in the feminine energy in its entirety until she needed to fight. And then Agatha was resting in her feminine energy when Nicholas was created, right? But then she wasn't able to receive what she desired because she was too dominant. All right, we're in the masculine energy now. I'm giving you the masculine qualities. Assertive, right? She was very assertive, logical. It's no feeling when you're being logical. It's just this is how 1 plus 1 is 2. She needed power. She took it. Analytical, aggressive, decisive. This says expressive, but okay, no, that's for feminine. So, the list isn't complete with qualities. These are just some, but so that means, all right, men and women, listen up. Men and women alike, listen up. When you are in the masculine, you're being assertive. You're being dominant. So that means you're not allowing and receiving. You're always giving, pushing, doing, instead of resting, being, receiving what it is that you desire. So what happens? You're pushing that further and further from your desired reality. So it's important to be in the feminine to receive. It's very important to be in the feminine to receive. Being in the feminine means listening, listening, so you can absorb the information. A lot of people who are in their masculine, men and women alike, they just talk and they talk at you. They miss the message, they miscommunicate, they miss large parts of what is being expressed and communicated because they're so dominant and so aggressive, but not even aggressive is the word that I'm saying. They're so ready to go that instead of them hearing what you're saying and thinking about what you're saying, they're thinking about what their response is. And so therefore they may miss the entire point. Men and women. This I'm saying masculine energy, but remember men and women. So very, very important to be receptive. Use your intuition, which is feminine. Be intuitive of what it is that you are possibly receiving, right? Or that you're being given. You don't have to receive it just because it's someone is trying to give it to you. Okay, let me check my notes here because we're going to be wrapping this up. We can come back when I am feeling back to 100% and continue this. Um, but I was told, I was led by Spirit to share a bit of my personal story because someone going through something and they don't realize that all they have to do is use the power of their imagination to bring into their reality what it is that they desire. There are certain things that is done, right? I just told you that I'm healing because, excuse me, or healing from my cousin passing away. It was sudden. It was shocking. It 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 felt like my world was just shaking up. It felt like it was shattering at that moment when I found out she only had 2 days to live. This is somebody that I talked to. Like, I mean, just my best friend, you know? Somebody I could tell anything and know that the secret is safe. Somebody who truly supported me, loved me, one of my biggest cheerleaders. Just such a super powerful force in my life, in our lives. And now that puzzle piece is missing. So this is one of those things that I can't fix in that sense. So I know you may be hurting, and it's one of those things that you can't fix, you can't bring back, but you will heal. You will get through it. There's times when I'm laying there and I'm just so hurt, and I can just hear her saying, "What are you doing? What's up, Jeanette? What are you doing? Why? Like, what are you? Get up and do something." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. You're right." But you know, we push through it. We push through it, and we know that there's so many beautiful things, excuse me, to enjoy. Maurice and I were driving um, today, and I looked out the window, and I I turned to Maurice and I said, "I'm so grateful that like I'm with you, that you're my person." And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because there's so many people that don't get me and don't get why the leaves, the autumn leaves, the orange, the red, the yellows, why they make my soul smile." Somebody here? Sorry, my dog is barking. Um, hold on, let me call Maurice because it sounds like somebody is out by my car. Hey, it sounds like somebody is like out by the car. Okay, thanks. Okay, he's gonna check. Otherwise, she's gonna keep barking. But what was I saying? Oh, but yeah, I was just sorry, train of thought lost. Oh yeah, and he was like, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to think. What part did I tell y'all? Back up. Okay, the color of the leaves and why it makes my soul smile. And he laughed, and I was like, because people don't get that. Like a lot of people don't get that, or they don't have that same feeling um, of pure bliss just looking at it. A lot of people do, right? A lot of people do. They totally get it. But I'm grateful that he gets it, and that we were able to share that moment and look at the glorious beauty of nature. Once you allow nature in your life, that's where everything is created from, right? Once you allow that in, just watch how your life changes. And I want to reiterate because Spirit is telling me again, you need to rest when you need to rest. Like I just kept going and going and going and going and going. And now that I told Maurice, I was like, I'm gonna take this week to rest. This was this was like last week or 2 weeks ago. I kept saying this, and then I'm cleaning every day. I'm washing clothes. I'm studying. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And then it got to a point where I had to rest. So I've made a promise to myself that at least once a month I'm gonna take 2 days and rest. Rest. It doesn't have to be 2 consecutive days, but I'm gonna take at least 2 days out the month where I stop and I rest.
The mailman.
Oh, he's out there late, huh? Okay. All right, y'all. So you want to wait for me? I'm about to wrap this up.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully it wasn't all over the place. I hope that you, excuse me. I hope that you receive this message and that it resonates with you. And I want to tell you again before we stop this live stream. Your imagination is your greatest tool because from the imagination has come all of these things that you, me, right from the imagination of the creative force that created us all. So, um, Stop. I will say stop this video and play it back.
Did you tell them where that
Could
stone
you
was?
come here and talk louder?
No, I was just saying. Did you tell them where the stone was located on the Android? What's his name?
I
Vision.
didn't. See, this is why I wanted you to do the live stream with me.
My phone was spazzing out. I was trying to message, but
You want to do a part two?
we can. Well, the
Okay.
stone is in this, third
Okay.
eye.
So we'll do a part two. All right, we'll do a part two. But Maurice was just visioning. Maurice was envision. Vision. Wow, vision. Maurice was pointing out that vision stone is where his third eye is. So, and he's a being that was created. Like it's deep. It goes deep when you think about it. It goes way deeper when you really look into it and think about it. But I have to go. My babies are ready to eat dinner, and do things. So I have to go tend to them. And thank you to everybody who joined in. Um, look out for part two of this topic. All right, this message. Who was that? Okay, I was gonna say that I'd be moving on this air. Um, look out for part two, okay? Because Maurice and I will be back. I'm not sure exactly when. We're gonna take some more notes. All right. I want y'all, if you're open to it, to watch some of Reverend Ike's material. He is really, like people say, ahead of their time. He was ahead of his time, because if he was here today giving these messages, it just wow, like the way that he breaks it down, just good stuff, really really good stuff. Okay, so yep, have a wonderful beautiful night or day wherever you are, because I do get a lot of people that tap in from all around the world, and we love you all so much, and we will talk to you soon.